We are observing Purushotam VRATA. We are hearing about the glories of Purushotam month. Yesterday we heard how King Haradhanva was having everything but no child. Then, by the grace of Supreme Lord, through blessing of Garuda, they got, but he died. And they were lamenting and fasting and all the time chanting Harinam, and that time it was Purushottam month. So they got their son back and all the blessings. And in next life also this son came to this king in the form of parrot and told him, why you are wasting your time only for material things? This is not the purpose of human life, it is to worship Supreme Lord. So because of that, King Haradhanva was thinking so much, and the message came from the Deval Rishi that this is your son, he's reminding you from previous life. So sometimes to know something from your previous life may be helpful. Not always necessary, only we have to follow what pure devotee Gurudev says. If it is helpful that to know something from past life, that is okay if he arranges, but if not, not necessary, not same for all. But in this case, it was necessary. So we should also not deny that in some cases it may be. So in relation to this, Gopal asked one question in Croatian language. You will not be able to understand. It is very interesting how many devotees don't have children in this life, based on in relation to this Harikatha from yesterday. And she's asking, is this good or not? Do you have any thinking about this? Dandavatva. When I read this question, I remembered one reply. I will try to find it in the letters of our Gurudev. Tomorrow I can paste it here or today in the chat. That it depends on the will of Krishna. Here, that sadhu told, it is not in your karma to have, but Krishna changed that karma for some purpose, for some help. But it is not that it has to happen in all cases. There in that letter, Gurudev wrote, it depends on the will of Krishna. We cannot forcefully get a child, even if you give effort or anything, but not forcefully. It depends on the will of Krishna. So he may give or he may not give. That depends on his will. And whatever is done by his will, it is for the eternal benefit of all. We have to accept his will. Then those who are devotees, they will accept the will of Krishna and they will worship him. As we heard yesterday, that I think Govinda Ghosh, but not fully sure. But the point is that he had no child. And he was worried, then who will do my Shraddha ceremony? Then his deity, Gopinath, told, I will do it for you. And he's doing, till now, every year, annually doing that Shraddha ceremony. Means no one will be deprived of anything if he surrendered to Krishna. So in this case, it was Krishna's will, they had no child. And by his will, he did that Shraddha ceremony. So in some cases, it may be like this, in some cases, like that. But what is the will of Krishna, that is good. So because here she's asking, I'm asking myself whether that is good or not. The devotees are not having children. Whether that is good or not depends on case to case, individual case. What Krishna arranges, that is good. And those who are devotees, they will surrender to the will of Krishna and worship him, and they will not be deprived of anything. Like we have example, the Chaitanya Das and Lakshmi Priya, they are pure devotees of Mahaprabhu. They had no desire for children. But suddenly that desire came, and through them then Srinivasacharya appeared by the will of Supreme Lord. But you will find Padmavati and Jayadev Goswami, they were married on the order of Jagannath, but they had no children. So it is the will of Krishna, and they're accepting his will, and there are other examples also. So it depends on his will. His will is all good. Mangalam Vishnu, Mangalam Madhusudanam, all good. And devotees will surrender to that will, and they will be peaceful and happy. So today we will further hear. If any of you devotees, she was asking in general, so if anyone else has any thinking as she wrote, then you can answer that. Yesterday we heard that Valmiki Muni answered to this king. So you were asking, who was that parrot? So he was your son in your previous life. Seeing you engaged in a materialistic way of life, he reminded you of your duty to worship Lord Hari in forthcoming Purushotam month. By such merit, you will return back to Godhead. Then King Haradanva eagerly asked sage Valmiki about Purushottam month. O sage, please tell me, how should one observe this most fortunate Purushottam month, which is most dear to Lord Shri Krishna? Who is the worshipable Lord for this month? What are the processes to worship this month and observe austerities? Please tell me all these secrets. The great sage Valmiki replied, so as I told before, what Valmiki told, that is meant for Svanishta devotees to observe. Our Gurudev told we are also accepting something from this Svanishta and something from Parinishtita, rules and regulations, and Ekanta. At least as a goal we have to have that Ekanta, spontaneous devotion in Raga Marg, in particular rasa with Krishna, and 24 hours serving him by chanting and remembering, and in your mind, in Lila, serving him and taking prasad. Ekantikas, they will do like this. So they are highest. So you have to keep in mind what Valmiki will describe here. It is meant for Svanishta devotees, and our acharyas, they have selected for us what we have to practice. So that we already discussed before. The great sage Valmiki replied, O king, one should get up early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta, thinking about the Supreme Lord Hari, who is also known as Param Brahma. Param Brahman means Supreme Spirit or Supreme Truth. Then he should finish his morning duties, take bath, do pranayama, and offer prayers to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. In Hari Bhakti Vilas also you will find pranayama that will help you to little calm down your mind, and it is also good for health. So some they do also. Lord Shri Krishna with his consort Sri Radhika are the worshipable deities for this Purushotam month. One should continuously chant Gayatri until the sun rises in the east. Then one should pay his obeisances and offer argya, water, flowers, etc. to the sun god, who is also known as Surya Narayan. After finishing all of these morning duties, one should start worshipping Lord Hari. A worshipper of Purushottam month should take a vow to remain truthful, not to speak any lie. He should remain very peaceful and not be engaged in any violent activities. He should collect some fresh cow dung and mixing it with some water, he should purify a certain area in the shape of a circle. Within that purified circular area, he should draw an 8-petal lotus flower with the help of some rice powder. Then he should place a new pot full of sacred water collected from different holy rivers, or he can call all the different tirthas or rivers to enter that pot of water, by that mantra. The water pot may be made of gold, silver, copper, or of earth, according to the worshipper's financial ability. Placing the holy water pot properly, he should call, O river Ganges, Godavari, Kaveri, Saraswati, Jamuna, etc. Please enter to this sacred pot and also purify my body and mind. Then he should worship that water pot with the help of sandalwood pulp, different other scented things, flowers, etc. Worship here means to establish that article. That is in Archan, you will find in the book. He should place a copper plate covered with a new yellow cloth upon that water pot. Then one should place deities of Sri Radha Krishna upon that pot. After placing the deities properly, one should start worshipping them with faith and devotion. Here Devaki is confirming that it was Govinda Ghosh, yes, who had no son. That is by the will of Krishna. And Krishna played the pastime of offering that Pinda, that Shraddha ceremony, as his son. So no devotee will be deprived of anything if he serves Krishna. The great sage Valmiki continued to speak again. He should purify the deities by a fire sacrifice and establish them with life through the Vedic process, means installation. Otherwise, the deities made of metal remain a lump of metal only. Means Krishna has to accept that form. It is by his will. He can appear by his will. We cannot forcefully. So by that Vedic process, Krishna is appearing in the form of deity. A Brahmana who is qualified with Vedic knowledge should perform these activities. First of all, he should chant Purusha Sukta, that is also in our Archan book, starting from Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam, followed by the Vijaya mantra for Purushottam. By placing his thumb on his heart, he should chant all these mantras to establish the deities with life. He should take a vow that I shall live for this deity or I shall die for this deity. He means fully surrender to the deity. He should chant many other mantras prescribed in Jajur Veda, adding Swaha at the end of each mantra. In this way, he should meditate upon Lord Purushottam, Shri Krishna. Then he should speak like this. O Purushottam, I am offering this noble seed to Sri Sri Radha Krishna. The holy water brought by me from different holy rivers, including Ganges, is for your pleasure. O Lord, please accept this water for washing your feet. Saying this, one should offer padya. That is that water for washing. Then one should offer achaman to the deities. Then one should bath the deities with panchamrita. Panchamrita you will find in Archan book. 5 ingredients: sugar, honey, ghee, milk, and yogurt. These 5 articles you have to bath the deity separately, each from conch. That is panchamrita. Again, offering achaman to fulfill one's ultimate desire and attain perfection, one should offer new yellow silken cloths to the deities. Then he should pray, O Purushotam, please save me from this nescience, this cycle of birth and death. One should offer Brahminical threads with the new cloth also. Then he should chant, O Lord, please accept this sweetly scented sandalwood pulp which is prepared by me in careful way. Then he should offer sandalwood pulp to different parts of the bodies of the deities. He should pray. Our Gurudev told the body is not fully appropriate word, should say transcendental form. Otherwise that wrong conception, or that there is something is Krishna, something is his body, difference like that will come. So transcendental form. He should pray, O Purushotam, please accept these scented and unbroken flowers carefully collected by me. These are all Sanskrit mantras are there. Then he should offer the flowers to the deities. He should worship the different parts of body, means form of the Lord, by chanting the mantras consisting of 24 different names of Lord Vishnu, starting from Keshavaya Nama. In this way, one should worship Lord Purushottam properly. Then King Haradanva inquired, O sage, so we are also doing Archan, worship of deities in this Purushottaman, as is prescribed by our Gurudev, according to that book or personally he taught. So here he told in this way, and we are following the purpose of deity worship as prescribed by Gurudev. Radhanva inquired, O sage, what should be the prescribed foods for a performer of Purushottam VRATA? What should one not eat in this month? Please explain everything very clearly to me. So for us, only prasad and those items which are prohibited, one cannot take. But here for Swanishta it is stated by Valmiki. O king, listen, sage Valmiki said. I am now explaining everything to you in brief. In purified consciousness, one should collect wheat, rice, sugar candy, sesame seeds, ginger, green leaves, banana, cucumber, rock salt, butter, ghee, curd, mango, potato, etc., and should cook them without oil. One should, that is Havishyana, we heard. So it is not necessary that everything one has to, but these items are allowed. But for us, because we are following it like Kartik VRATA as per prescription of our Acharya, sesame seeds are not allowed. Here are mentioned, but we are not taking. should cook them without oil, but you can use ghee, as was mentioned there in that Sanskrit. Here it is not mentioned. One should not eat meat, fish, etc., or any kinds of non-vegetarian things. One should not use mustard or mustard oil or any kind of intoxicant in his daily fare. One should prepare one's food in a purified way, in pure consciousness, and one should not cook in an iron pot. One should not speak any nonsense, nor think any nonsense. While preparing, it is written prasadam, but it is actually bhog for Krishna. One should avoid any type of contaminated food prepared in a contaminated or improper way. In Purushotam month, one should not blaspheme the demigods, the Veda, or any literature in pursuance of the Vedic version, Brahmanas, the spiritual master, cows, and person, man or woman who performs Purushotam VRATA, the king, and all other saintly people. So all this we should not blaspheme. One should try his best to please Lord Vishnu by performing various austerities to the best of his ability. A worshipper of Purushottam month should follow the above rules and regulations in the month of Kartik and Magh month as well. Otherwise, he could not get the full benefit from performing his Purushottam VRATA. You see, this is new for me. If possible, one can worship Purushottam month by observing a full fast from food throughout the month. You see, that was, I think that was in Satya Yuga or maybe Treta Yuga, they could do for 1 month, but now in Kali Yuga it is not possible. In Kali Yuga, maximum fasting is only 1 day. You should not fast more than 1 day, like full fast or even then. So only Ekadashi is prescribed. It is mentioned that is why also we have to sometimes if Nityananda Trayodashi and that Ekadashi come together, then we have to observe Ekadashi and break fast. Yes, that Varaha Dvadashi or Vamana Dvadashi, we cannot fast on next day. You have to follow only 1 day. Mahaprabhu also, when he went to South India, that a worshipper of Ramchandra was distressed and he was fasting. Then Mahaprabhu, after 2 days, he thought there is no prescription for fasting more than 1 day. Why he's fasting? Something must be wrong. So then he inquired, and you know the history about false Sita, Maya Sita, kidnapping of Maya Sita. So there Mahaprabhu also was, there is no fasting more than 1 day. That is in Kali Yuga, but in Satya Yuga they could do thousands of years. So what to speak of 1 month? So here Valmiki said it is best if you can full fast throughout the month. This king did in past life. If he cannot observe full fast, he should live by drinking ghee or drinking some milk, which he should collect by begging. If he cannot do this, he can simply eat some fruits. An intelligent person should take a vow according to his capacity to observe and follow it. One should not break his vow in the middle of it. If one worships the Lord in his Shaligram form, offering him 1 lakh of tulsi leaves, that is 100,000, then he will achieve such unlimited merit and success that even Lord Brahma cannot describe it. So in full month, if you offer 100,000 tulsi leaves, then you will get this. If one worships Purushottam month in this way, he will achieve more glories than performing 100 horse sacrifices. The performer of Vedic Karma Kanda Yagyas achieves Svargaloka, but the worshipper of Purushottam achieves Golok Dham. All the holy places and the world come to live in the body of a person who performs Purushottam VRATA. And tomorrow we will hear about King Haradvana will ask, what are the benefits one achieves by offering a lamb to Purushottam in this month? It is very interesting, you will hear, but it is a long topic. Again, some past lives come into play that we will hear tomorrow. And we are observing Purushottam VRATA by daily reading Bhagavatam. Yesterday we heard this very famous verse, Tatenu kampam susamikshamano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam hritvag vapurbhir vidadhan namaste jiveta jomukti pade sadaya bhak. We are reading commentary by disciples of Srila Sai Maharaj. The word susamikshamana indicates that a devotee earnestly awaits the mercy of the Supreme Lord even while suffering the painful effects of previous sinful activities. Lord Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that a devotee who fully surrenders unto him is no longer liable to suffer the reactions of his previous karma. However, because in his mind a devotee may still maintain the remnants of his previous sinful mentality, the Lord removes the last vestiges of the enjoying spirit by giving his devotee punishments that may sometimes resemble sinful reactions. The purpose of the entire creation of God is to rectify the living entity's tendency to enjoy without the Lord, and therefore the particular punishment given for a sinful activity is specifically designed to curtail the mentality that produced the activity, that sinful activity. That is the purpose. Although a devotee has surrendered to the Lord's devotional service, until he is completely perfect in Krishna consciousness, he may maintain a slight inclination to enjoy the false happiness of this world. The Lord therefore creates a particular situation to eradicate this remaining enjoying spirit. This unhappiness suffered by a sincere devotee is not technically a karmic reaction. It is rather the Lord's special mercy for inducing his devotee to completely let go of the material world and return home back to Godhead. So that is why you will find in devotees' lives that horoscope, although perfectly calculated, it may not correctly go according to that, because Krishna is making some own arrangements for that devotee to help him surrender more and more. So in the life of devotees, that past karma is not like fixed to be enjoyed or suffered. It depends how Krishna is helping that devotee. A sincere devotee earnestly desires to go back to the Lord's abode. Therefore, he willingly accepts the Lord's merciful punishment and continues offering respects and obeisances to the Lord with his heart, words, and body. Such a bona fide servant of the Lord, considering all hardship a small price to pay for gaining the personal association of the Lord, certainly becomes a legitimate son of God, as indicated here by the words Daya Bhag. Just as one cannot approach the sun without becoming fire, one cannot approach the Supreme Pure, Lord Krishna, without undergoing a rigid purificatory process, which may appear like suffering, but which is in fact a curative treatment administered by the personal hand of the Lord. Now, I'm reading directly commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now that Brahma has rejected other processes and accepted bhakti as the means to attain Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the process of bhakti is described. A devotee understands that the happiness and distress, this worldly happiness and distress, he undergoes due to performing bhakti and committing aparadas, are special mercy from the Lord. You see how he is explaining. A devotee understands that the happiness and distress he undergoes due to performing bhakti and committing aparadas are special mercy from the Lord. It is like the father who sometimes makes his child drink milk and sometimes makes him drink bitter neem juice. Sometimes the father embraces and kisses his own son, and other times he beats him. The devotee accepts whatever happens to him as the arrangement of the Lord, acting for his benefit. The devotee thinks, the Lord certainly knows what is best for me, even if I don't know. Karma and time have no effect on a devotee, so this is Krishna's personal arrangement for me. Out of his mercy, Krishna sometimes gives me happiness and sometimes gives me distress, considering how to engage me in his service. This point is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Yatha charet balahitam pita swayam tatatvam evarhasi na samihitum. As a father, not waiting for the son's demand or desire, does everything for the benefit of the son, please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me. See, this is how devotees thinking. That is full surrender. Sometimes I heard that I want to do this, Krishna, but if you think it is not good, then stop me. That is also one kind of surrender, but it is better to surrender before thinking. Although arpa paschet creata, something. First you surrender, then do. Not do and then you Krishna you stop. No, we have to receive from him what we have to do. So we have to first surrender to him. And then what he wants us to do, we will do that. That will be devotion. So this type of surrender we have to achieve. That is to follow the instruction of pure devotee Guru. What service he will give, that will be for the satisfaction of Krishna. The person who spends his life offering respects with body, mind, and words to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, like Prithu Maharaj, while tolerating the suffering of austerities or other hardships, becomes the recipient of two results: liberation from material bondage and service to the Lord. Muktipada, that is Mukti and Pada, feet of the Lord. As the inheritance from the Father maintains the life of the Son, so the attainment of liberation and service to the Lord maintains the life of the devotee. Thus, while living in this world, the devotee remains fixed on the path of devotion. The Srimad Bhagavatam says, the Dritaya iva shvasanti asu brito yadite nuvida. Only if they become your faithful followers are those who breathe actually alive. Only, again I'm reading, only if they become your faithful followers are those who breathe actually alive. Otherwise, their breathing is like that of a bellows, that artificial for making fire. So they have no life, but they are breathing. But here it is mentioned, if someone is not a devotee of Krishna, then he may breathe, but he is not actually alive. Only those who are devotees, they are alive. One's life becomes successful by serving Krishna with devotion. Otherwise, the body is just like a bellows, inhaling and exhaling air, means useless, no any benefit. So this is how they explained our Gurudev and Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Kakshidhara Goswami, Parang Gurudev, they explained this verse. It can, as I said, it can be translated one who awaits. Tat te anukampam susamikshamanam. Susamikshamanam can mean one who waits your mercy, means he surrendered. Like sometimes you will find in India, they will say, we are all waiting upon you, means we are surrendered to you. That is why it is not very respectful if someone has to wait for you. Like if you are, there is some appointment and someone has to wait for you, you are late. That is actually disrespectful. It shows your pride. But those who say, we are waiting for you, means we are surrendered to you. So it is, or like waiter is waiting for order. We are waiting for your orders. So that is why punctuality, and for Archan also, Krishna should not wait you. Pujaris, they have to be very punctual for the service of Krishna. So we should, if we are keeping someone waiting, that is disrespectful to him. especially if there are superior persons, then that is not good. We have to wait them, not they should wait us, but we have to wait them. That is surrender. And so this is one translation. Devotees, they are always waiting your mercy, means fully surrendered. And while waiting or expecting, or like the Chatakabar, they are undergoing suffering, thinking that is my past bad activities or mercy of Krishna. So they will not be disturbed or blame or something, and they will offer their full life to the service of Krishna. In that way they will get. So our Gurudev explained from another standpoint. Also I heard from Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Param Gurudev and Prabhupada. Susamikshamana means, iksha means to see, and samiksha means to better see. Iksha means ordinary seeing, then samiksha means better, more precise. And samikshamana, very good, means perfect vision. One who has perfect vision, he can see the grace of Supreme Lord in all circumstances. Whatever distress I'm getting, or good, or whatever is happening, one who has perfect vision, he can see it is the grace of Krishna. Why? Because nothing can happen unless Krishna sanctions it. Nothing can happen without him. And he's all good. He's giving the fruits of actions or giving arrangement for my improvement of surrender. So those who have clear vision, perfect vision, they will see it is not only the will of Krishna, but it is mercy of Krishna. It is meant for my good. In all circumstances, they can perceive this. So they are never disturbed or never complaining, abusing, blaming. No. They see it is by the will of Krishna. That is not so easy to get such a vision. So they will adjust with the environment, not try to adjust environment to them. Tomorrow I will again remember this verse as explained by our Gurudev, because three conditions are given here for one who will get God. This is the first. He should see it is the grace of Krishna. And then also he should not blame anyone for his suffering, because only Krishna is giving the result. And he has to dedicate himself fully for the service of Krishna. Then these three conditions, then he can get, otherwise not. Krishna here is speaking himself through the mouth of Brahma. How one can attain, this is pure devotion. And pure devotee will never pray to Krishna, you please rescue me from my karma. No. What I did, let me get. You are not my servant. I am your servant. What I did, I'm not putting that on you. I will take that, but what I want is only your service. So because of that mentality, they are immediately liberated by the grace of Krishna. But if there is any separate desire other than the service of Krishna, even for mukti or anything, then that is not pure devotion, so you will not be rescued. Full surrender. So here Gurudev, tomorrow I will again remember, Gurudev told, as long as we blame others for our sufferings, it is impossible to dedicate ourselves fully for the service of Krishna, because we will be engaged in some other issue with that person all the time. It may be subconscious. Some grudge is there to someone or something. Maybe subconscious, but as long as that is there, that ignorance is there, you are not free to fully dedicate yourself. So these all three are connected. Seeing grace of Krishna, not blaming others, and fully dedicating by body, mind, and words. All three are connected in pure devotion. So tomorrow I will try to remember more.